Oh my goodness, how nice it feels to finally be able to sit in front of a webcam and make content for you guys again. It's been about 5 days since I've gotten to do anything, streams, YouTube, or whatever. So I kind of wanted to take you guys through what's been happening over the course of the last week and a half because I have been going through it. So the first thing is regarding Sonic Mega Mix Mania. If you don't know, it's a really expansive mod, basically Sonic Mania 2. For Sonic Mania, and it was something that I was really looking forward to. It's based on the original ROM hack Sonic Mega Mix for Sonic 1 that was made by Simon Tomley, who you may know as the head of Headcanon, who made the original Sonic Mania, so little full circle moment there. And I had planned on doing a bunch of content on Sonic Mega Mix Mania for this channel when it dropped its 1.0 release. Unfortunately, there are some issues I have with the 1.0 release, and I knew that a version 1.1 was on the horizon, and at the time of this recording still is on the horizon, like probably the next few days, at least according to Bally, one of the devs of it. So I figured, you know what, I want to have this game with its best foot forward and not have any issues with it and just sit back and enjoy it because I thought 1.0 was really fun. But again, there are just some things that I really dislike about it that I will be happy because I know for sure they're going to be rectified in 1.1, and I'll get to just sit here and gush and play the game and have a lot of fun with that. So that was a little bit rough in the case that I had this entire plan and it kind of all fell apart because I had about probably a week to 2 weeks worth of content with that game. But thankfully, it's just a bit delayed now. Secondly, about a day after that happened, my good buddy Beats sent over a tweet to me that Windows 11 has started killing computers. And I'm not gonna lie, my chronically offline status that I've been coined with, thanks Lima, did kind of bite me in the butt because I upgraded to Windows 11 when I thought the original security update stoppage was going to happen. Didn't realize that the security updates were extended, so I updated to Windows 11 before then. Windows 11, I know probably the techie guy is going to be like, wow, shit, garbage, whatever. I don't really have that big of a problem with it. It's got some problems, like some weird artifacting on my second monitor sometimes, and then of course the notorious Windows 11 stutters that happen during the streams, but overall it's functional and it works just fine. However, when I got the news that it has started breaking computers, I'm not gonna lie, I panicked. So I have an extra 250 gigabyte SSD that I'm not using that I went ahead and installed Windows 10 onto, but when I installed Windows 10, I couldn't boot into Windows 11 anymore. And being the super tech noob that I am, it really sucked because, like, yes, I could load into Windows 10, but all of my files were on the other hard drive. And it's not as simple as just like I could go into the hard drive and then open the program and move it over and stuff. I have to reinstall it through Windows 10 in order to be able to activate it from the other hard drive. So that was a mess. It was like 1:30 in the morning. I spent probably 3 hours trying to figure out, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And like just in tears sitting here because I had to stream the next day and I had to make content 5 hours from that point. And I was just like, how am I going to do this? Because like OBS wasn't working, DaVinci wasn't working right, and all that, and all my files were stuck on the other hard drive that I couldn't boot into Windows 11 on. Thankfully, YouTube helped me out, and I found a video and did some coding in the administrative command prompt, which allowed me to completely format and reset the UEFI, which, as far as I understand, is just the instructions that tell the OS how to boot up. I don't fucking know. Someone could correct me on it. And with that, it's nearing like 2:30 in the morning. Was able to boot Windows 11 and everything was working as normal and I could double boot. So now, in case Windows 11 happens to actually start breaking computers, I went ahead and unplugged that solid state drive and it's got a copy of all the important work things that I have. So worst comes to worst, I can replug that SSD back in, load in Windows 10, and continue making content for you guys. So that was another thing that was quite scary. Third thing that happened, as you've probably noticed, my Sennheiser 598s are gone because they broke. Yippee! And that was the day after the Windows 11, just one of the earphones just stopped working. So Sennheiser 598s, great headphones, by the way. I literally have used them since I started streaming, so these were about 5-year-old headphones. I went ahead just to check that it wasn't the cord, because Sennheisers, well, at least the 598s, use a special 3.5 millimeter aux cable to 2.5 millimeter aux cable, which is not the standard. Going a little Apple mode on it. But I went ahead and ordered another cord because a $6 cord, it might have worked properly and the original cord might have just been faulty, and I would have saved myself, $200 and continued to use my headphones. When the cord came, it was really funny because the original cord, it only played through my left ear. The new cord, the headphones only played audio through the right ear. So they were broken in the weirdest way possible. But thankfully, Haley had these backup, cheap ass knockoff Apple headphones, which this is going to be total first world problem, but I had been using those Sennheisers for so long that I'm honestly still getting used to how different the audio sounds, because clearly this audio quality is not as good as the Sennheisers are, because at this moment I can't really afford to replace them with new Sennheisers. So just trying to work things out and edit around the new audio and even playing PO6. It just feels weird. Everything feels off right now, and I know in a week or 2 weeks time it's probably going to be fine, but I apologize if the audio's been weird on shorts or videos or something like that. That's the reason why, because I'm using these bad boys now. But thankfully Haley had them on standby and I can still use headphones all the same. And then finally, the cherry on top is, and I am not joking when I say this, I was working, I think last Wednesday morning, and I got up from the toilet and I felt this piercing strike go up my back. Like someone had just took a knife in my back and just whoosh, straight up. Now, I have had a couple issues with my back in the past, but obviously I go to the gym a lot and have done a lot of lifting, and specifically have done a lot of lifting on my lower back in order to strengthen it. And usually if my back acts up, it's usually once a year, it's not a problem. Very much was a problem this time, because the next day I literally couldn't get out of the bed without going horizontal and rolling over and using the floor and the bed to pull myself up. And it was basically like that for the last 5 days, and I couldn't sit. I could only stand for maybe 3 or 4 minutes before that piercing pain started going up my back, or I could lay horizontally, which means I couldn't use my computer. That has just been what's been going on, and I would say I'm probably 80% right now. Obviously, I can sit in a chair, which is nice again. I didn't go to the doctor or anything because I knew it was just a pulled muscle. I just tweaked my back somehow. Not sure how it happened. I doubt it was from actually getting up at the toilet. I know that I'm old, but I'm not that old. So I think I just must have slept weird or something, and something off happened, and I just stood up and my back decided that it was time to break. So anyway, been recovering from that, and because of that, I'm not going to be streaming still for a little bit. I'm fine doing the YouTube stuff. Every 5 minutes or so I gotta get up and I gotta kind of walk around, lay down a little bit, and then come back here. And I don't think that would be great for streaming, so especially with the content I do, so it's just gonna be a little bit longer until I get back to doing, the normal stuff that I do. So that's what's been going on, and this was actually something I wanted to make for a while, but all of these things happening one right after the other kind of spurred me to create this. I wanted to say, honestly, just thank you to all the people who have just, I don't know, since January, I've been getting a lot of overly nice and overly positive comments. Not in a bad way, mind you. I've just been getting a lot more people coming out and being like, hey man, I've been watching you for 2 years and I just want to say I really love what you do. Your streams have really helped me through tough times, or comments of that sort at a much higher frequency than I ever have. And I just want to say that I'm really doing my best to internalize every single thing, because I know that it takes effort, regardless of how much effort it is. The fact that there are people out there who watch this that are taking the time and effort to write those nice comments or come to me while I'm live and say those nice things, it means so much that I am able to provide something that gives value to people. Like, whether it's the actual like advice stuff, like I know I've gotten a couple things about the social media rant video that I did, and just general other like philosophical things that have helped me in my life, and see that it actually has a positive impact on other people. Like, fuck, man, that shit, that's amazing. And to be able to provide value to people in that way is just, it's an incredible experience. So I just wanted to say a quick thank you, and please, if you have nice things to say, keep them coming. Like, I love talking, and talking to people is way cooler than just talking to a webcam. So please, if you have more things you want to say about what you like, or even have, you know, some neutral, constructive feedback on things, I'm all ears, especially now that I have headphones that I can listen to. But just wanted to update you all, and seriously, I mean it from the bottom of my heart every time I say it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.